Hello amazing people. So in today's video we will learn about how to configure and program the digital clock in Python. I'm just making a file for testing a tkinter underscore test.py file. So I just forgot to write down the file extension .py. I'm just making it correct renaming and at the end of the file .py. So here we start the coding for the program where we are actually importing Tkinter package from the Python library for the TK interface. But before that, I'm just writing down command pip install Tkinter just to test that whether it is a library that is imported already in the Python. So you got a lot of error because you have pre-built Tkinter package installed with your Python installation. So here the next command is python -m tkinter to check whether the tkinter is working perfectly on your Windows operating system or not. So yes, it is giving me a prompt that everything is fine. So everything is fine, we'll start programming. So here I'm going to write down code that from Tkinter package import everything. Static means everything you have to import from Tkinter package, which is a standard Python interface. And the next command is from tkinter.ttk. You have to import everything once again, which is the tkinter.ttk module provides access for the TK themed widget set that is helping you to create amazing widget applications from the Python. Next, we have a command for time import string time, which is the method returning the string representation of your date and time using datetime object frame in the Python. So next you have to create a Tkinter application, which is generally creating an instance of Tkinter frame that is your root equals to tk, and that way you are going to define Tkinter applications here in the Python code. Next I'm going to write down root.title, and I'm going to just write down any name that you want for your digital clock. So I'm going to write digital clock test. Next we have to define the function, which is the time. So here I'm going to write down the string equals, which is actually the string format time, that is the method returning the time. So here you are going to write down the format for your time that you want to display on your digital clock in Python. So I'm going to write down %r for h, %m for minutes, and %s for seconds, and %p, which is actually going to tell the format of the time, whether it is AM or PM. Next, we are going to write down the label.config. So I'm going to configure the label, which is in the bracket you have to write down text is equal to string. So here we go, everything is fine now. The next, you have to define that label.after 1000, which is 1 second, 1000 milliseconds. So after 1 second, it is going to loop the time and it will display on your digital clock. Next, we have to define a lot of parameters for your label on the digital clock. I'm going to write down the label, which is the class that you are importing from Python. It's root, and then you have to define down the root parameters, which are actually the font of the digital clock that you want to use when you are going to display the clock. So I'm just selecting the Arial font. You have Calibri, Times Roman, anything you want. Then the size of the font and the background equals to black, red, white, whatever you want. Then the foreground color, which is very important because you have to define the display. If you are having a background black and your foreground is black, so you can't see anything display on the digital clock. So I have sign foreground, which is quite interesting to display on the black background. Next, we are going to pack the label. Next, we are going to just end the function time which we defined earlier, and we have a main loop, which is very important that your time is continuously running in a loop. So I'm going to just run the program, but here we go, we have an error here. So it seems there are problems in this program, so we have to fix it. Oh yes, it's root.title, not root equals to title, so I just make myself correct this way. I'm going to again run the program, and here we have another error. I think it's an indentation error where we are actually having a lot of troubles while configuring the label parameters. So it is just intended with the define function that we define with the time. It is not coming inside of that defined parameter define function. So I'm just going to change the parameters. You're going to change the background color, the foreground color, and the font to check whether your application is working fine, your coding is perfect or not. So yes, everything is perfect. Yes. And run it. It looks amazing. So everything is working fine. Your program is running. Your clock looks super amazing with the Python. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos on this channel. Thank you so much.